record on this computer. Okay, updates. School is closed till April 17th. That you guys probably got the message for this morning. Teachers are asked to get lessons, NTID lessons, the NTID lessons for those following days. I think it's days 16 through 30 something, not sure. So we'll be working on that. I'm going to stick with doing the novel. Today's reading kind of opens the doorway up to the to Paul's assignment, which is going to be exciting because that's where I planned on doing some stuff with the plants. Let me see here if I can find this darn class code. Give me 1 second. File. Let's see. I don't see where there's, all right, invite. Default email, Gmail, Yahoo. I can't invite via text. Can't invite.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there.
Let's just do Gmail, and I gotta send an invitation real quick. So sorry for the delay, guys.
Right.
That's why it makes it nice if you can access the recording through Moodle. All right. Okay, I'm gonna send this, and then we'll be on our way. Send. All right. Meeting ID is 888-383-506.
No, absolutely not. No, you've got enough on your plate. Right? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So hopefully she can get in. Send. All right. So are there any questions? Let me get rid of my screen here. That's in the way of me seeing you guys. Okay. When I try to get on Open Moodle on my phone, it won't let me. Okay, on the phone, I put a tutorial. I'm going to go to screen sharing here. I'm not sure if I did this after our last conference, but I'll show you guys anyways. So you don't even have to log in to get to this tutorial. And let me share the screen with you. Make sure that I even have a link to the app. So we're going to go all the way back home. And then because I'm logged in, I'm actually going to log out so you can see what it's like just right from the start before you even have to log into Moodle. Log out. Okay, so I'm logged out. Here I am, the very front of the site. If you scroll down, the first thing you'll see is Moodle App Tutorial, and it says Get the App. That app right there, that link will take you to your Play Store or Apple. It's got a couple of jumps, but it will lead you to the correct app that works with Moodle. Then I do the video. The video, I'm screen recording my phone and putting my information in. You need to put in the site URL, which is openmoodle.org, your first name dot last name, and then your password, which should be Jackson with a capital J20. And then once you get to that point, you can see some of your coursework, the resources, and things like that. If that's not working and you can't get it to work going through this tutorial on the very front page, let me know. If you are logged in and having trouble getting to this page, the link to get to that page if you're logged in is right here. It is Site Home. So if you click on Site Home, it'll take you out of your dashboard back to the very first page of the site, and you'll be able to get that that tutorial. Hopefully that will work for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go back to stop sharing, and get the chat. Okay. It looks like that's it for questions so far. All right. Other updates. They are telling us to plan on officially we are closed until April 17th. And they're telling us non-officially that we will probably be closed through May. What'd they say? I thought I wrote it down here. I guess I didn't write it down. I think it's like May 3rd, something like that, which would be another 30 days or something like that. So that's what I found out. I also reached out to a company that donates federal computers to schools. I requested 120 laptops, and hopefully, if we're chosen as a school to receive those, Dr. Kirby said he would pay for the shipping, and we will have those computers coming in. And it's my understanding that these computers could be checked out for home use. So that's kind of a cool thing that's happening. Do I think we'll be closed for the rest of the school year? It's hard to say. I'll say it wouldn't surprise me, because if we're into May, you guys are done May 22nd anyways. So, you know, it's really hard to say. It depends on what happens with, you know, the economy and the virus, and whether or not this, you know, social distancing actually it has an impact on the virus. So basically, with the numbers you see on the news, what you see as far as numbers of people infected and however many people have it, it's about that information is about a week old, because it takes a week for people to start showing symptoms. So okay, so let's see. Today's chapter, I'll jump right into the chapter and cover that. Oh, I should probably share my screen. Okay, so go back to screen sharing, and here we are. I did put the quiz up today as well, and it's really easy. It's 10 questions, real straightforward. Let me jump into the course here. I feel like I'm fumbling with all these windows open here. So we're gonna go home, which will take me back to my dashboard. And then we're gonna go into the English RTI class. Here we are. And we're gonna go down to Monday. Now I'm leaving all these open because I have a lot of students that have to go all the way back to last Monday and complete work. So I can't really make it look less cluttered without closing it to those students. So you just have to be on the ball to look for the day, the date, and the NTI day number. And we're on day number 9. So that is Tuesday, October 3rd. And there's the short quiz, and here's a live class session that I will make a recording and put that up like I have the other days. The short quiz is 10 questions. I think I gave 2 attempts. Should be pretty easy. The reading for today, I'm going to open it up. Paul starts out talking about Joey's first day at Tangerine Middle School. That's kind of why he was saying some of the things he said when Victor was giving him a hard time. And in this chapter, he was in his homeroom, and he asked if the girl that had showed him around the school was helping Joey as well, and he said that he didn't need it, and he didn't need a guide dog. Well, Paul sounds like he kind of likes this girl a little bit, and he took offense to that. They kind of got into it, and so they were kind of bickering a little bit, and then it goes on to the teacher gives them an assignment, and the assignment is to research and present information about an agricultural product that is native to this area in Florida. Then she passes out a glossy 1-page ad with a picture of a citrus tree laden with fruit. When Paul hears about this assignment, and his friends that are from Tangerine, Tino knew right away what they were going to do, because they are, who is it? Tino? Lewis had developed a new species of tangerine tree, which has a seedless fruit, and he's patented it and he's marketing it. So that's what they're doing their paper on. Now, if we were in class, I would probably have a similar assignment for you guys. I kind of kicked around doing it online. We'll have to see. But the number one vegetable grown in Kentucky is actually the tomato. And apple trees are the number one fruit. But as far as vegetables, like you grow in your garden, Kentucky is known for its tomatoes, which tomatoes are interesting because you can do all kinds of different varieties. I do have some tomato plants growing. So maybe sometime this week, if I get a little extra time, I can we can play around with the grafting, and I can put that on video. Um, just to kind of relate it to the chapter. So Paul's doing his research in his group with Lewis and them on this tangerine tree that Lewis has invented, and they divide up the assignment. Joey gets into it with both Paul and I believe it's Victor. Let's jump down the chapter here. That's what I get for not reading it right before class. I read it last Friday, and now I'm like, oh, what happened first? Yeah, so Joey gets into it first with Tino, and they kind of get into a little scuffle in the classroom, and then he kind of gets into it with Paul, and he ends up telling Paul that he's just going along with these guys and letting them push him around and all that. So the teacher ends up stepping in. Joey ends up not being in the group anymore, and Paul's gonna work on the assignment with the group, and that's that. Let's see, did I miss anything? Tino looks like he was suspended for 3 days because there was a little scuffle in the classroom. So the next chapter is probably going to talk more about the report. And this is where it gets pretty interesting because they actually start talking and looking at what Lewis actually had done for the tangerine tree. So I'm going to stop the sharing and check the chat. Okay. All right. From Merrick, Tino. Yes, you probably were when I was asking who it was. Yes, it was Tino. Do you guys have any questions about the quiz or the reading for today? Any questions at all? And I'm not sure, but you might be hearing Mrs. Parmentier in the background. She's working from home today too. So sorry if I have some background noise. Let's see here. Interesting creature there, Alicia. It looks like you made it though. That's good. Okay, let's see. Who else is joining? Oh, Peyton's joining us, connecting to the audio. Okay, when will the next class session be? Tomorrow. Let's try to keep it right at 1:30 on the dot every day. I was thinking 1:15 because it gave me a little bit of a window before I have to meet back with all the teachers, because we meet every day at 10 in the morning and at 2. So back to the news thing. They asked that teachers come in this week to prepare NTI days 16 through 30 something or something like that. My day will be Wednesday, so we probably will not have. I'll keep you posted on whether or not there's going to be a live class session on Wednesday. I may have to be in at the school, and then I might not be able to do the live class session. But I will still do a recording if I can't do a live session and cover the chapter. So that should answer the question: when will the next class session be? Every day at 1:30 from here on out, unless I have to go to school or something comes up, and I'll make you guys aware of that. And each morning around 10 or 11 o'clock, I try to send out a remind. I'll also put up on the site the information of how to sign up for the remind service, so you get my texts when I send those out. So let's see, what else do we have? Let's go back to screen sharing to make sure I covered everything with the chapter. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Yikes. Finder, finder, finder. Okay, here we go. Back to the chapter for today. So if you're a couple of you joined late, we went over the chapter briefly. It was a short chapter, but it was an interesting chapter because Paul, his teacher gave him an assignment to do a research project or in group work on Florida's agriculture, and she gave a picture of a tangerine tree, and it just so happens that Tino's family grows tangerine trees, and they Tino actually, Lewis, who's Tino's older brother, has actually created a new species or a new version of the tangerine that's seedless, and the chapter talks about that. And so he's excited to be working with those guys on it. There's a little bit of a tiff between Joey and Tino, and then Joey and Paul. Joey ends up not being in the group, and Tino suspended for 3 days. So that's where we're at today for the chapter. Let's take a quick look at the quiz. When I'm in the screen sharing mode, just so y'all know, I can't see the chat. So if you're asking questions, I'm not seeing it until I go out of screen sharing mode. So the Tangerine short quiz, it's very short. It's 10 questions, and just to give you guys kind of a quick preview, it asks what is Tangerine Middle School's mascot or soccer team called? What nickname does Victor give Joey Costello? Then down to the end, it's got questions like Joey is one of the best soccer players on the Tangerine Middle School's team. Is that true or false? So the quiz is very straightforward. You shouldn't have any issues with it. Like I said, I do have tomatoes growing, and I will see if they are stable enough maybe this week to try to do a graft. Maybe we can graft something onto the tomato plants, and that will kind of relate to what they're doing for Paul's assignment in the novel. So let me stop my screen sharing and see if there's any questions in the chat. Okay, there's no questions in the chat. So I guess if you guys don't have any questions, that will be it for today. So it's pretty short live session today. Wow, only like 10-15 minutes. I will keep you guys posted on the news and updates. I'll also see if I can put a little bit more fun stuff up this week with the novel. So we'll see what we can do. And so I guess that's all we have for today, if there's no more questions. And again, if you have questions, you can turn your audio on or you can type them in the chat. Well, all right. I don't see any more questions coming in. So that's it for today, guys. A pretty light Monday. We will have class session, the live class session again tomorrow. And we'll talk about the chapters and make sure you're keeping all your work up to date and all your classes, not just mine. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So until then.